Hey YouTube, it's ICU. Welcome to the 238th episode of Best Tech Info and Rumors, and in today's video we're not only going to be discussing iOS 9.2 and the next untethered jailbreak, but also all of Apple's releases this week and the iPhone 8. Yes, I said that right, not the iPhone 7, the iPhone 8. Also, today's episode is brought to you in part by Audible, the best source for audiobooks. Visit audible.com/ICU for a free 30-day trial. Up first, let's talk iOS 9.2, which was released earlier this week on December 8th, about 6 weeks after the release of its predecessor being iOS 9.1. Now, 9.2 brings AT&T Number Sync, which is a pretty cool feature for AT&T customers. It will allow them to accept calls on other devices, such as an iPad or a Mac that's not on the same Wi-Fi network as their iPhone, improvements to SF or Safari View controller, and a number of bug fixes, which unfortunately also includes security improvements, which we're going to get to in just a second. But first, if you want additional information on all of the changes found in iOS 9.2, then I will have a direct link to my corresponding article in the cards right now for you guys. Now, let's talk security. So 9.2 does close 3 additional exploits that Pangu utilized in their untethered iOS 9.0.2 jailbreak utility. So this is over the 2 that were already patched inside of iOS 9.1, which officially closed the jailbreak, again, about 6 weeks ago. So does that mean that we're not going to receive another jailbreak since we have a total of 5 known exploits that have been closed? No, far from it. It just means that those vulnerabilities won't be able to be recycled and in turn exploited in another jailbreak. So when can we expect a new jailbreak from either TaiG or Pangu, the 2 teams currently on the jailbreak scene? Unfortunately, that's a little hard to predict, seeing as jailbreak developers do not give ETAs. They don't even give updates of what they're working on, simply to avoid the toxic attitudes that would undoubtedly ensue amongst jailbreakers. So we have to actually look back to the past for this, but we can't refer to iOS 9.0.2, the last jailbreak utility, because see, that was released for iOS 9.0.2 even though iOS 9.1 was on the horizon. It was most likely initially intended for iOS 9.1, however it was discovered by Pangu, the group that released the jailbreak, that 9.1 did close the major kernel exploit that the team utilized in their jailbreak, so they had to rush it for iOS 9.0.2. So that's not really a good jailbreak utility to compare it against. And the same thing can be said for the tool that preceded it, again, TaiG for iOS 8.4 and 8.3, because 8.3 was originally released in April and TaiG issued their jailbreak utility for the firmware in June. But they were smart to do so because iOS 8.4 was on the horizon and it had a concrete release, meaning Apple said they were going to release Apple Music at the end of June. They couldn't push that back simply to patch the jailbreak, which again was released just before 8.4 dropped, so that way TaiG could simply adapt their tool to include support for iOS 8.4. So we need to go back to the tool that preceded 8.3 and 8.4, right? Yes, but probably even further than you'd imagine. So iOS 8.1.2 was jailbroken by TaiG before their 8.3 and 8.4 utility. However, that wasn't the first firmware that the tool was able to jailbreak. So the group originally released it for iOS 8.1.1, which patched Pangu's first jailbreak for iOS 8. However, because Apple didn't address the vulnerabilities exploited by TaiG in their 8.1.1 jailbreak, they were able to adapt it for iOS 8.1.2. But the first version of the jailbreak was originally released on November 29th, and 8.1.1 was released on November 17th, so it took them less than 2 weeks to issue their jailbreak, a mere 12 days, which was absolutely great because 8.1.1 did close the original Pangu jailbreak for iOS 8. So can we expect something similar with iOS 9.2? Well, if TaiG or Pangu have been working on new jailbreak utilities or even discovering and testing vulnerabilities, again, depending on how far along they are in the jailbreak process, then yes, it is highly probable that we'll see a new jailbreak within the next 1 to 2 weeks. How awesome would it be if we got a new jailbreak by Christmas? And I wanted to mention a few things on that subject. First of all, since Pangu was able to release the iOS 9 jailbreak, that's freed TaiG up since roughly June to continue what they've been working on and adapt it for the latest firmware, in this case, iOS 9.2. They had previously confirmed that they were heavily interested in jailbreaking iOS 9, so we can definitely expect something from them in the future. Also, Pangu may have additional vulnerabilities capabilities up their sleeves, which is why they were so comfortable in releasing their jailbreak for iOS 9.0.2, even though 9.1 was on the horizon. Also, it's very important to note that anything you hear related to release schedules are simply rumors. I know there was one going around on Tuesday right before 9.2's release suggesting that Pangu had a new jailbreak for 9.1 and they were just waiting on 9.2 and they were going to modify it to support the latest release. Again, remember that is complete speculation and neither TaiG nor Pangu will ever really give ETAs. As I mentioned before, they tend to operate in stealth mode, which keeping everyone in the dark like that, including Apple, is best from every angle. So again, guys, I will keep you completely notified anytime anything new happens in the realm of jailbreaking. Just be sure to click the subscribe button below next to my channel name if you have yet to. Also, if you want even more information on jailbreaking and iOS 9.2 in general, what the firmware actually offers and how it further patches Pangu, then just be sure to check out my coverage on it. I will have it linked directly in the cards for you guys right now. Again, that is a highly interesting video that I recommend watching through. Now, next, let's take a second to talk about a really awesome service, Audible, an Amazon company, which offers more than 180,000 audiobooks, and with the channel's audible.com/ICU link, you'll get a free 30-day trial that you can end at any time. They're truly a remarkable service for the digital age. If you don't like a specific audiobook you have, you can exchange it for free. Personally, I love fiction such as Harry Potter, which I was able to listen to for free with audible.com/ICU. And if nonfiction's more your speed, I recommend the Steve Jobs biography by Walter Isaacson. It's both fascinating and again free. They have virtually any book you can think of, and also since they are audiobooks, you can listen to them in the car while doing chores or really any other task, which is why audiobooks are far better than traditional books. Seriously, check out audible.com/ICU now. You'll not only receive some free stuff, but you'll also be helping out the channel as well as this series. Next, let's talk about all of Apple's releases this week. So also on Tuesday, they released so many new things, including tvOS 9.1, which adds Siri for Apple Music support, some minor bug fixes and improvements, and finally brings back the remote app of old from the 3rd generation and even the 2nd generation Apple TV. So if you own a 4th gen Apple TV, you can now use your iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch, or Apple Watch to completely control it. And if you are using your iDevice, you can use the keyboard functionality to directly enter your passwords without having to swipe through it on the remote, which is so much better and more convenient. Also, speaking of the remote application, Apple has confirmed that they are working on a brand new one for release in the first half of 2016 that will include support for brand new features that the 4th gen Apple TV introduces, including Siri functionality, which you'll actually be able to use on your iOS device that will then transfer to the Apple TV. So that should be absolutely amazing. Stay tuned. I will definitely have coverage on that once it's released. And speaking of releases, Apple also issued OS 10.11.2 El Capitan, which like iOS 9.2 does include bug fixes. Now, the biggest improvement is Wi-Fi reliability, and the second most notable one is that it fixes an issue that would cause Bluetooth devices to randomly disconnect. Next, WatchOS 2.1 doesn't offer much in the way of new features, but like this week's trend, it does correct a number of bugs that have persisted since WatchOS 2's introduction, and I've also noticed that Apple Watch dictation is slightly faster now when responding to text on WatchOS 2.1 than its predecessor. Now for Apple's accessory releases of the week, on Tuesday they also put up for sale a brand new SD card to Lightning reader that will support USB 3.0 speeds on the iPad Pro. It is available for purchase or pickup at your local Apple store. And last but not least, the ugly yet functional accessory that absolutely everyone is talking about, a battery case for the iPhone 6s and 6. Unfortunately, they didn't release one for the larger 5.5-inch iPhone 6 Plus and 6s Plus, which I have right here, but the case on this is very similar to what we see in the battery case. It's kind of a silicone-like material, and the battery bulge is in the middle, so they've left some room on the sides as well as the corners, which they say allows you to more easily put it on, because most battery cases are rigid throughout it and extremely hard to put on and take off, at least according to Tim Cook, and that's kind of the logic behind it, but it's definitely ugly to say the least. I'll have some more coverage on it soon. Be sure to stay tuned. Next, let's talk about new iPhones, but not really the iPhone 7. Let's talk about the iPhone 8, which is rumored for release in 2018. So not this upcoming iPhone 7, which will be released in 2016, or even its successor, which will likely be dubbed the iPhone 7S in 2017. No, the iPhone 8 in 2018. It's rumored that the device will shift to a new OLED type display, which is similar to what we see on the Apple Watch. The blacks are so deep and it just looks great like other tech products on the market that have OLED displays. Now, these rumors started to circulate a few weeks ago, but more and more reports as of late are starting to back it up, including one suggesting that Japan Display is in heavy negotiations with Apple to secure a contract for producing the panels, again, for the 2018 iPhone. If you want to catch up on some of the latest rumors going around for the next generation iPhone, being the iPhone 7, I highly recommend watching through the videos found in my playlist. I will have it directly linked for you guys right now. And finally, if you want to enter to win a brand new 4th generation Apple TV, be sure to watch my dedicated video on free apps fast. I will have it linked for you guys below. That giveaway is concluding soon. Be sure to get your entries in now before it's over. I'm not going to go over how to enter in today's video. Just be sure to check out the link down below. And if you want to be updated more often, such as when I release new videos similar to this one, or just covering jailbreak topics in general, be sure to like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, add me in one of your circles inside of Google+, and until next time, this is ICU signing out.